Hi, this is a brief introduction to your Promethean software called ActiveInspire. First thing you need to do is to have your Promethean board plugged into the wall and plugged into your computer. Without these two steps, your board will not work. You can use ActiveInspire without your board being installed. You may want to do that if you're working at home, creating flip charts. The software works just fine without the board, but of course it won't be interactive with the board until your board is plugged in. You also will need to plug your projector into your computer if you want to project. So those are three things you need to pay attention to. Actually four, because of course your projector needs to be plugged into the wall as well. The next step is to calibrate. You do this by projecting your computer screen onto the Promethean board and pulling up the calibration screen. There are two ways to do this. Either hold your pen over the gray circle in the upper left-hand corner of your board, which has what is sort of like a flame. It's the ActiveInspire flame on it. That should be lit, of course. If your board is plugged in, that will be lit. You hold your pen over it, you hover, and the calibration screen should load. If it doesn't, you can also go to your computer tray at the bottom of your computer, click on that little arrow that's pointing up. You will get this sort of image up, and one of these icons will be the ActiveInspire icon. You click on it, choose Calibrate, and follow the instructions. If your ActiveInspire is not calibrated, what will happen is when your pen touches the board, the computer will not know where in the screen you are touching, and you'll notice the little cursor will be off. So you need to calibrate on a regular basis anytime that projector gets moved. So if you don't have your remote control for the projector and you're using your finger to turn on and off, that will change where the projector is pointing. After a long summer, when the rooms have been cleaned, the projectors will be off. If you switch rooms and you're a different board, you will have to calibrate again. The next step is you'll see that when you open the software, which always has to be open for you to calibrate, is what version you're using. There are two versions of this software. One is called Primary, one is called Studio. The primary one is the one we prefer for the younger students. For the older students, 4th and 5th grade and above, you might want to use the Studio Feel. But this that I'm using today is the primary version. To switch that, you go to here. This is the active dashboard. It automatically loads. When you open the software, you click on Configure, and you can, down here, see it says Launch next time using the Studio Look and Feel. If I click this, when I exit ActiveInspire and go back into it, it would launch as the Studio version. To switch back, I would just click this again, and if I was in Studio, it would say using the primary look and feel. And down here at the bottom, show the dashboard window on startup. It's a good idea to click that so that you always have this up when you first open the software. Let's go to where we started. Flip charts. We want to start with the flip charts. Now the software already has a flip chart started called Untitled. If I wanted a new one, I could click here. I could open a flip chart. I could do a variety of things. So now I don't need the dashboard, and I'm going to click Close. You can think of the ActiveInspire pages as the slides in a PowerPoint presentation. They are very similar, just ActiveInspire calls them pages. So the first thing I'm going to do is come over here. This is my toolbar, and this toolbar can move to anywhere I want it by just clicking and holding while I have my cursor on the yellow. And I can put it somewhere depending on what makes me most comfortable. I can put it on the other side of the screen if I want, anywhere that it makes me comfortable. There are many things that you can do with on this page. You can add text, you can add shapes, you can add pictures. You can, if you're advanced, you can add pictures that when they're clicked will do things. That is at the advanced level, and we are just going to focus on the beginning. First thing I might want to do is add some text. If I click on the T, this is my text icon. I click on it and then click anywhere on the page, I can type. Once I have it typed, I can move this text. See this little icon up here? If I hover over it and I click and hold my mouse, I can move it anywhere I want on the page. Down here on the right, you'll see there is a icon, or there's a menu rather. I can change the type of text I use. You'll notice nothing happened. That's because I didn't select my text. Just like Word or many other programs, you need to select something you've already done to change it. So I'm going to change the sort of text I use to Indigo. I can change the size. I can change the color down here from black to there. Or you'll notice there was a color picker on the right. I can change it to almost any color in the rainbow by clicking. And over here are my tints and shades. So these are my hues. Okay, so any color I really need. There's even a eyedropper, so if I had a color on the page, say a picture, I could click somewhere and it would turn it that color. I can just change it to red. I can change the alignment. That's the alignment within its box. I can change the line spacing. Go ahead and play with these. I can also change the box itself by clicking on that circle. And if I right click, it pulls up a whole menu. I can undo, I can redo, I can cut, copy, paste. If instead of the text I am on the arrow and I click it, I get a slightly different menu. This is the menu that comes up when the arrow is selected. You'll notice there are many things. This is a rotation, which you'll notice my cursor, when I come back to that, changes. It's now a double arrow. But up here is the curvy arrow. That tells me that I can only rotate it when I'm actually at that icon. That's different than many other programs. I can rotate it. I can make it transparent. I can change the order of things. Okay, so you can use these. As you hover over them, it tells you exactly what they do. You'll notice also I have 4 arrows. I can change the size of that box. Now it's not very happy when it's rotated. Changing the box size. It's easier to change when I'm straight up.